So this Atlas Underground record is a record of collaborations. It was a record that was made during lockdown in my home alone, but it was also made around the globe, working with Bruce Springsteen in New Jersey, Eddie Vedder in Seattle, Bring Me the Horizon in Brazil and the UK, Fantagram in LA, Chris Stapleton in Nashville, grandson, who knows where he is. Mike Posner actually summited Mount Everest between the beginning and the end of recording our song. Damian Marley in Jamaica, Prototype, I'm not sure where he lives. Femme Refused in Sweden, and Sama Abdulhadi in Palestine. So it's an album that while I made it alone, I also made it with this global community of musicians. And for me, the challenge was I have a studio in my home, but I don't know how to run it. So I recorded the guitar parts onto the voice memo of my phone. Simply hit the red button, put it up to my amp, recorded some riffs, and sent it to producers and engineers around the globe, and began creating tracks in that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me translate what you said for everybody.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I could make it short. Sorry.
It's okay. Bueno, amigos de Radio Futuro, ustedes ya lo ven, estamos junto a Tom Morello, que tiene varias novedades, un disco en camino y varias cosas que ha hecho. Vamos a estar conversando en este rato y ustedes ya lo escuchaban describiendo lo que va a ser su próximo disco, The Atlas Underground Fire, que sale en octubre. Y él mencionaba la tremenda cantidad de colaboradores que tiene: Eddie Vedder, Bruce Springsteen, Damian Marley, y escucharon ahí los otros nombres. Un disco gestado en pandemia, en un contexto muy interesante, así que es lo que se viene para Tom Morello. A ver si nos cuenta un poco más de la experiencia de colaborar con esta tremenda gente. Tom, please tell us more about the experience of collaborate with these amazing people, Bruce Springsteen,
Sure.
Eddie Vedder. It must be very special for you.
Yeah, I'll say it in short a bit. So I played in the E Street Band for about 6 years, and when we were in Australia, the home of AC/DC, I visited Bon Scott's grave and was inspired, and I asked Bruce if he thinks that we could maybe try an AC/DC song. We ended up playing Highway to Hell, opening a show in a large football stadium in Melbourne with Eddie Vedder, who just happened to be in town on a solo tour. And the moment was so exciting, playing this, one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time, with two of the greatest rock and roll singers of all time, Bruce and Eddie. I wanted to recapture that moment for this record.
Buenísimo, ahí nos contaba un poco de la colaboración que hizo con Bruce Springsteen y Eddie Vedder para su versión de Highway to Hell de AC/DC, una de sus bandas favoritas de la vida. Dice que la principal inspiración fue de cuando estaba en Australia, justamente el país de AC/DC, ahí visitando la tumba de Bon Scott y todo eso, así que sin duda sintió que tenía que hacer algo así, y ahí está el resultado. Ya ha sido dado a conocer el single y después en octubre viene el disco. Y ya que estamos hablando de colaboraciones, tenemos que preguntarle por una reciente que hizo con nuestra compatriota Ana Tijoux, a ver qué nos cuenta de eso. Tom, talking about collaborations, recently you released a very special one with our beloved Chilean singer Ana Tijoux. So how was that? Please tell us about that experience.
Sure. Well, I'm a big fan of Ana, and I put out one of her records earlier on my record label here in the States, and I got to meet her when Prophets of Rage were playing in Chile.
Yeah.
And we spent some time together. We visited Victor Jara's grave, spent some time with Victor Jara's widow, visited a lot of the other, the Allende grave as well, and have become friends. When I was working on music, a song called Lightning Over Mexico, she dropped a fantastic verse in that song. She's a tremendously talented artist, and it's a real honor to collaborate with such a great Chilean artist.
Sí, buenísimo. Dice que conoció a Ana Tijoux cuando vino con Prophets of Rage. Ahí Ana estuvo invitada al show, subió a cantar con ellos y se forjó una buena amistad. Después han coincidido en otras actividades, por ejemplo visitando la tumba de Víctor Jara, de Allende, han estado en otras cosas. Dice que es muy fan de Ana Tijoux, así que un honor haber compartido ese trabajo. Lightning Over Mexico se llama la canción, está inspirada en una matanza de estudiantes mexicanos y es parte un poco de un interés muy fuerte que tiene Tom sobre la canción latinoamericana, la canción de protesta latinoamericana, donde él tiene una visión muy interesante. Le vamos a preguntar de eso. Tom, we know that you are very interested in Latin American music. in Latin American protest music. We have a long tradition of protest songs and protest music. Of course, you're very interested on the Victor Jara legacy. So please tell us about that very strong interest.
Sure. I mean, one thing that is very encouraging to me as a protest musician from the United States is the international solidarity you feel with protest musicians across the globe. And Victor Jara is someone who has been tremendously inspirational to me. Like I knew about the CIA coup in '73, and it was only later that I learned about Victor Jara's kind of role as a real hero and someone who was very unafraid to use his music to try to change the world. And that's something that I try to do every day and on every record.
Sí, por supuesto nos cuenta de su interés por la canción de protesta latinoamericana, algo que tiene hace mucho tiempo. Dice que le llama bastante la atención el sentido de solidaridad, un poco que hay entre todos estos países por estos temas, por esta protesta, digamos, expresada artísticamente, pero que tiene que ver con algo muy colectivo. Y en cuanto a Víctor Jara, claro, no es ningún misterio que es un admirador del legado del artista chileno en el sentido de usar su música, su arte, para tratar de cambiar el mundo. Un poco de eso se trata lo que está haciendo. Volvamos a lo que está haciendo, lo que va a sacar en octubre, el nuevo disco, esta nueva apuesta musical donde por supuesto su guitarra va a ser un gran protagonista y a ver qué nos puede contar de eso, de cómo sigue evolucionando en su faceta como guitarrista. Okay, Tom, let's talk about music, about will come in the future with the Atlas Underground Fire. We know that with your guitar, you always try to give a step forward. You try to make an evolution in your sound. So tell us about that. What are you doing right now with your guitar, with your constant evolution?
Sure. Well, I firmly believe that the electric guitar is the greatest instrument ever invented by mankind. And as an ambassador for the electric guitar, I think it's important to keep the electric guitar moving into the future. I've always tried with my playing to destroy the boundaries of what people think an electric guitar can sound like. And on this Atlas Underground Fire record, there's lots of big riffs, there's lots of crazy guitar solos. The guitar leads the way, but in many different directions that help keep it fresh.
Good. And how do you do that? You incorporate the things from other styles or music genres?
Yeah, one of the ways to do it is with the collaborators. You know, like, and allowing the songs to sort of go, like working with Chris Stapleton, who's a country and Western artist, that pushes my guitar in one way. Working with Sama Abdulhadi, we were recording our song as Israel was bombing Palestine. So it had like this sort of tension in it, but it also made my guitar playing, like her beats and stuff are something I've never played with before. So what kind of musician, what kind of guitarist does that make me in this new context? It's really sort of like trusting the chemistry of working with other artists to bring new things out of you.
Oh, good. Bien, nos dice ahí Tom Morello sobre la música que está haciendo, la evolución que él siempre tiene con su guitarra, que está convencido, dice, de que la guitarra es el mayor invento, el mayor instrumento jamás creado, y en base a eso está muy atento, siempre muy interesado en lo que puede hacer el futuro de la guitarra o el futuro de la música a través de la guitarra, y este nuevo disco que sale en octubre va a ser un poco una expresión de eso, de cómo lo hace. Bueno, los colaboradores son una herramienta para eso, para expandir las fronteras, para incorporar nuevas cosas, nuevos estilos, nuevos elementos a lo que él hace. Nos describía ahí un poco una colaboración con un artista de música country y otras cosas, así que está todo ahí por descubrirse cómo funciona la guitarra de Tom Morello en este nuevo contexto que siempre se está moviendo. No podemos dejar de preguntarle también qué es lo que va a pasar con su banda madre, con Rage Against the Machine, que el próximo año volverá a los escenarios. Tom, I can't help to ask about your band, Rage Against the Machine, who is going back to the live shows on the next year. So tell us about your expectations about that.
Yeah, well, we were very disappointed because we were set to go on tour in 2020, and then the world shut down. So we've moved the U.S. tour to 2022, and right now that's where it's at. I'm hopeful that it's very important for us that whenever we tour that it's something that is a great experience for the fans and one that is safe for the fans and for the band and for the crew. And so I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that there will be concerts in 2022 that will be safe for fans.
That's right. Well, we were talking about protest songs, and there's a lot of things to protest right now. So the return of Rage Against the Machine will be very, very strong and very special, right?
Yes, that's my hope. I mean, the good news is that those songs never go away. And you know, in addition to Rage Against the Machine, like I've made this Atlas Underground Fire record, I think is my 21st album. You know, and so it's for me, it's an ongoing journey of continuing to challenge myself musically and continuing to make music where the underlying message is the world is not going to change itself. That's up to you.
Buenísimo, sí, nos comentaba ahí de lo que va a ser el regreso de Rage Against the Machine a los escenarios el próximo año. Dice que quedaron bastante frustrados en 2020, que iba a ser el regreso, pero todos sabemos lo que pasó en el mundo, así que no pudo ser en ese entonces, pero se viene ya para 2022 y con harta fuerza porque hay hartas cosas por las que sacar la voz. And I hope you want to come back to South America and Chile, right?
I would love nothing more than to come back to South America with Rage Against the Machine. I mean, first of all, I should have said this first, was to how grateful I am, how thankful I am to the people of Chile, and how, I mean, some of my favorite moments ever that I've played rock and roll have happened in Chile, with Rage Against the Machine, with Prophets of Rage. It's like people are so passionate and go so crazy and care so much. It's really one of the most, maybe the most special place to play rock and roll concerts in the world. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. It's crazy.
Okay, it's always good to hear that. Bien, nos dice que sí, que lo único que quiere es volver a Sudamérica, a Chile, a tocar con Rage Against the Machine, así que en algún momento tendrá que ser. Nos dice que algunos de sus mejores momentos tocando música en vivo han sido en nuestro país. Ahí le creemos totalmente porque también tenemos grandes recuerdos de eso. Bien, ya nos va quedando poco tiempo, así que solamente le agradecemos a nuestro amigo Tom por este tiempo. Thank you very much, Tom, for your time, and we hope to see you here very soon.
Yes. Well, gracias. Thank you so much for your thoughtful questioning, and thanks again to all of our fans, friends, and comrades, and Anatiju, and I hope to see you soon.
Muy bien, ahí está el saludo, incluso para Ana Tijoux incluido, así que ahí estaba Tom Morello. Muchas gracias a todos por estar ahí y nos vemos en otra ocasión. Adiós. Goodbye, Tom. Thank you.
Adiós.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.